George Soros did a 60 Minutes interview years ago where he explained something most people missed entirely. The interviewer wanted to talk about billion-dollar bets. Soros kept redirecting to something simpler. He wasn't risking his principal anymore. The money he was deploying on any given position, it wasn't the original capital he'd deposited. It accumulated profit. The game changes completely once you cross that line. You stop playing defense. Fear leaves the equation. And the math underneath every decision shifts in ways that compound invisibly over months and years. Mark Minervini teaches the same principle at the trade level. Tight entries, partial sells into strength, aggressive risk elimination once a position starts working. Different vocabulary, same architecture. Most traders hear this and nod. Then they go back to risking their starting stack on every single setup, wondering why the psychology never gets easier. There's a reason psychology never gets easier. When you enter a trade risking original capital, money you deposited, money that came from you enter a trade risking original capital, money you deposited, money that came from the position sizing might be only 1%, but the nervous system doesn't do percentages. It knows you're playing with something that can't be replaced without external effort. That triggers a specific stress response that degrades decision-making in documented, measurable ways. The Israeli judges' study gets referenced constantly in behavioral finance. 100-plus parole decisions analyzed. Favorable rulings started each session around 65%. By session end, near zero. Same judges, same cases, same legal standards. The variable was cognitive depletion. Trading with principal, real money, survival money, is a depletion accelerator. Every tick against you costs cognitive resources you don't get back until you sleep. And most traders don't wait until they've slept. But something shifts once your winners start financing your losers. The psychological pressure that used to compound against you starts compounding for you. You're not risking what you deposited. You're risking what the market already paid you. The nervous system knows the difference even if your spreadsheet doesn't. The execution layer of this is less intuitive than it sounds. It's not take profits early. That's the retail version. And it leads to cutting winners short while letting losers run. The exact inverse of what works. The actual structure looks more like this. You identify a setup where the entry allows for a defined, tight stop. Not a wide stop you're hoping doesn't get hit. A stop that's placed at a level where if price reaches it, the thesis is simply wrong. That precision matters because it determines your initial risk in dollar terms. When the position moves, let's say it delivers 2 or 3 times what you risked, you sell a portion into that strength. Not all of it. Enough that the realized gain now covers the original risk entirely. Now something important has happened. You've eliminated the possibility of loss on that trade. Mathematically, the remaining position is free. It can go to zero from here and you still walk away with money you didn't have before. But if it continues, if the trend you identified plays out over weeks instead of days, you're still holding exposure. This is what financed risk actually means. The market paid you to stay in the game. The prop firm application is where this becomes load-bearing. Everyone reading this knows the constraints. Daily drawdown limits, maxed loss thresholds, consistency rules that punish exactly how retail traders naturally operate. What most people miss is that these constraints aren't obstacles to work around. They're telling you something about how professional risk management actually works. The firms design these rules because traders who can't structure risk properly blow up. Every time. The rules exist to filter for the ones who already think this way. Financing risk is the mechanic that makes consistency rules survivable. You take a setup on Monday. It works. You sell a third into strength, move your stop to break even on the rest. Now Tuesday's risk budget isn't depleted by Monday's position. Wednesday, you take another setup. It fails immediately, stops you out for the defined loss. That loss is smaller than Monday's realized gain. Your equity curve is still positive. Your drawdown is untouched. Thursday, you take another setup. This one trends for 3 days. You're trailing a stop under prior higher lows, holding reduced size but still holding. By the time it ends, one winner has paid for multiple small losses and left room for the next sequence. This is how funded accounts compound instead of bleed. The psychology shifts because the math shifted first. You're not hoping you're right. You're structured so that being wrong is already financed. The setup identification layer is where most traders actually get stuck. The risk financing framework only works if the initial entry is clean. Tight stop. Defined thesis. Asymmetric potential. If the entry is sloppy, wide stop, unclear invalidation, I think it's going up energy, then there's nothing to finance. You're just gambling with extra steps. I broke this down in free training a while back. How to identify the specific structures where institutional accumulation creates these tight entry opportunities, where liquidity clusters before a move, what supply absorption actually looks like on a chart versus what retail traders think it looks like. If the financing framework makes sense but you're not sure where to apply it, that's the gap worth closing first. I've watched traders understand this concept intellectually and still not execute it. They take the setup. It moves. They know they should sell partial, but they don't. Because what if it keeps going? What if this is the big one? So they hold full size, no stop adjustment, no risk reduction. Then price retraces, stops them out at break even or worse, and they walk away with nothing from a trade that was up 3-1 at peak. The discipline to sell into strength when everything in you wants to hold for more, that's the actual edge. Not the chart read, not the indicator. The willingness to take the financing when the market offers it. Soros wasn't making predictions. He was structuring positions so that being wrong cost him almost nothing, and being right paid for the next 100 attempts. Minervini isn't guessing about direction. He's engineering entries where the risk is so defined that partial profits eliminate it entirely before the trend even matures. Same game, different scale, same principle operating underneath.